Hello, White Tea fam. Thank you so much for joining me again. My name is Leanne Mahalia, and today I'm going to be showing you how I cover my pigmentation using just 2 drugstore items. In this demonstration today, I'm going to be using L'Oreal Infallible 32-Hour Freshwear in shade 225 Beige Sand. I'm also going to be using Revlon ColorStay Suede ink in shade Feed the Flame 007. Alright, let's get into it. What I noticed happening when I was using foundation, even foundations that claim to be full coverage, is that there was a gray cast that was happening whenever I put the foundation on top of my pigmentation, the areas that I had pigmentation. As you can imagine, this is really annoying because the reason that I'm using foundation is to cover it, right? So, what I ended up doing was experimenting with color and just trying to figure out what would neutralize the color of the pigmentation underneath my foundation. After doing a little bit of research and some trial and error with a few products, I realized that I needed something that had a staying power, because one problem I was running into was if I put something underneath the foundation, usually those creamy neutralizers that are different colors and stuff, like it would mix with the foundation, and then I would end up having kind of like pink foundation on my face, which just looked ridiculous. So I had a thought. I was like, you know what? I recently started using this Revlon lipstick, and I was like, you know what? It has really good staying power. Like, it doesn't budge like when I put it on my lips. So maybe this will do the trick. The lipstick, by happy coincidence, just so happened to be the right shade for me and the exact color that I needed. So as you can see, I've literally just blotted it onto the areas where I have pigmentation. Try not to layer it on too thick, as I've come to realize that then makes it a lot more difficult to cover. It looks a little bit strange, but trust the process. Trust me, don't worry, I gotcha. So after letting it dry down for a second, I then start applying my foundation by lightly tapping over the areas where I put on the lipstick. I use a brush. You can use whatever you want. I've found that using a brush really works for me. And what I'm gonna do over the areas where I have the lipstick, I'm lightly tapping that foundation on just to build up the coverage. I'm not dragging that brush across my face. And using this technique helps me to build up the coverage where I need it, and also just blend nicely in areas where I don't necessarily need that much coverage. I mean, you can already see that gray cast is completely gone. So what I do is just let that dry down. That's just the first layer. I'm going to start working on the other side now. Lightly tapping in areas where I have the lipstick on. I mean, it's not going to move, but what I don't want is for that red to blend with my foundation and then give me like a pink cast across my cheeks. What I love about this technique is the results. I mean, as you can see, it's pretty good. I've only used 1 layer of foundation so far, and you can't see any gray cast. As I said earlier, one of the major problems I was having when using foundation, especially full coverage foundations, was getting this blue-gray cast underneath my foundation after I finished my makeup. And as you can imagine, that was really frustrating because I have pigmentation across my top lip. And without color correction, it just looked like well, it looked like a mustache, to be completely honest, like I was trying to cover a mustache. So, you know, I wasn't really happy with it, and that's why for me color correction is so important, because it neutralizes that. Sometimes you still be able to see the pigmentation, but at least it's not being casted as like a blue-gray shadow on my top lip. It softens it, it blurs it, and I'm really happy with the results. As you can see, this is my second layer that I'm putting on of foundation now, and you can hardly see. Compare, you know, this side of my face to the other, and you can hardly even see that pigmentation on my top lip. Okay, so I'm just adding the finishing touches now, just topping up a little bit on the top lip there, and blending the areas where I feel it just needs to be blended a little bit. After this, you can go ahead and start using your setting powders. Me personally, I don't use them. I like having that kind of like satin finish. And now I'm applying one of my new season faves. This is again another Revlon ColorStay Suede ink. This one is shade 003, Want It All. It's amazing. Like, I love this color, and it's definitely going to be a staple for the fall season, maybe even winter. I want to thank you all for stopping by and watching my very short tutorial on how I cover my pigmentation using 2 drugstore items. If you've enjoyed this video, you've tried it, it's helped you, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends if you feel that it can help anybody else with pigmentation. Thanks again. Take care.